You are now listening to the Fishing for BS podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Fishing for BS podcast. I'm Andre.
I'm Aaron.
And I'm Dana.
Yes, we're here for another week, ready to talk, ready to vibes. Bit tired this week. Just had a bit of a mare trying to set up, but we're here regardless, man. Aaron, how you doing, man?
Yeah, good, thank you, brother. Been a good week. Tiring, obviously, having kids and that. But you know the vibes.
All right, man, we get it. You got kids, bro. Move on. All right, Dana.
I'm good, man. Yeah, same. Had a good week, you know.
That's good.
Happy. How you doing?
That's good.
I said he's happy.
You don't look it.
No, I just had a good week in it. So, yeah.
That's good.
Good
You know,
vibes.
I heard that Sam Henshaw tune you did in the car. I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
I was driving, and Nikki was talking to her, and I'm like, I know that bass, you know. But for whatever reason, it's twigging. Like something's twigging. I'm like,
Yeah.
of course I know. It's Dana, innit? I know.
Man's on radio and that.
Come on, my guy.
No, it's Spotify. Relax, man. Like, no, Spotify's bigger anyway, so it don't matter. That's funny, but yeah, I'm good. Week, busy again. Busy, man. Mm-hmm. Thank God that it's busy and we're working. You know, Arsenal scoring goals.
Come
We're
on.
my top. You know,
We here,
Dana's
baby.
boy Pepe is finally showing us something for one game.
Arteta
He's gonna
time,
go-
baby. We here.
Nah, man. Pepe's gonna go back in the bin for the next 3 games again. Nothing but trash.
So
Right,
rubbish,
this ain't
man.
sports. This ain't a sports podcast, but yeah. You know, this week we're gonna talk mentality and all the facets of mentality and how they affect your daily life, how they affect your work. Yeah, man. I think
When
I'll
you say
start-
mentality, yeah, I
Yeah.
just keep hearing it in a Mancunian accent. I ain't them proper like
Hey, Roy Keane in it, man.
mentality. You know them ones?
they got no balls.
Yeah.
All of that, innit?
Them man, them run till it hurts, man. You know the ones
Too busy
there.
dancing and too busy
man,
dancing on TikTok and all that. You know what I'm saying?
All those TikToks.
He got the
You've
mentality.
got to play for the shirt, mate. You've got to play for the shirt.
You got your Ambamyangses, you got your
Your Pepe's is. Yeah.
Your puppers.
all right, man. All right, I lost my train of thought, man. But, man, get serious, guys, man. I'm joking. All right. So I feel like we're all kind of at a stage where we're all pretty confident with our abilities as like musicians, as creators, as it is. Dana, do you think you'd always been as confident as you are now?
It's hard to think back, but probably not. It was quite a few occasions. Actually, you know what? Andrew, do you remember that first studio session I did with Jasper?
Oh, you got rinsed, innit?
Yeah, I got clapped up.
Is it?
Rinsed. You got
What? I can't even imagine that, you know.
Oi,
bro.
this is years,
I
though,
was,
man.
I was what, 14 maybe?
Yeah.
Because you was in first or second year of Brit School, innit? So I would have been 14, 15-ish.
Yeah.
First session, I'd recorded for like my dad and for like IDMC, obviously the gospel stuff. But my first like session in the actual studio, and I don't know what I was going in for. Like, so yeah, I'd say yeah. In my younger years, I wasn't as confident. Like that session, I remember. I just remember this one specific moment, yeah, where the guy played the track. I heard 4 counts of the click, and then I played the note, like thinking it was the one, and the guy stopped it. He's like, "You're not on the one." I was like, "What?" I don't know, what do you mean? Did it again, and like I can't remember, I don't know what it was. I was either in front of the beat or behind the beat, probably in front of the beat.
Yeah.
But like I was just getting clapped up. I'd never been like rattled like that in my life ever. Like I never got that call back. Like so yeah, man. But
Whee! That was funny.
Yeah.
I remember he told me like, yeah, man, your brother, he was all right, man. He just came and then he was quite grumpy and he just left. Like, didn't really say much. That was back when you were in your quiet days.
Yeah, no,
you're quiet now, but
yeah. So I wasn't always confident now, not until it's developed over years to get to this point. You know.
okay, I feel you. Aaron,
Or that have I always been a confident musician?
yeah, have you always been confident in your abilities and that?
No, I haven't. Definitely haven't been. And I think for me, it comes in like peaks and troughs. So it's kind of moments of confidence, and I feel like it's when I break a particular ceiling. So
Yeah.
there's that beginning phase of sort of obviously you're rubbish, but everyone said you're good in it to encourage you to keep going. And then you break that ceiling, and that might be hanging out with other musicians who are good or playing in a band for the first time. So the first time I played in a band, I was like, wow, I am terrible. Like, just timing, like, just pocket, knowing what to play, like, how not to, get in people's way, whatever. And then you kind of master that sort of setting with those musicians, like that ability level. And then you go with some other guys, and then, again, it just keeps, my confidence keeps getting shattered every time. Every time. But I think that, it's been, for me, it's been a really hard journey with confidence in my ability, because I feel like I'm someone, I've kind of clocked this recently, I feel like I'm someone that needs to be told, or I've needed to be told that what I've done and what I'm doing is good. So like, if I'm tracking something or whatever, and I'm finished or whatever, and the guy's like, let's move on to the next thing. No, I need you to tell me, was that okay? Like, do you know what I mean? Was that good? Like, or I've done a rehearsal, or I'm covering for someone or whatever, and the MD's not saying anything to me. Yeah. But he's not like off with me or nothing, but he's just not saying anything. I need to know, was that good or not? I think that's kind of my own sort of insecurities, and definitely a confidence thing of like, in that kind of imposter syndrome. Like, am I meant to be here? Do you know what I mean? Am I meant to be here? Like, what are they all thinking, really? Sort of thing. So, I feel like I've just gone through that at sort of every level I've worked at.
I feel that, man.
What about
I think with me, I kind of was just, you know what it is? Because I started from young, from like 3 years old, and everyone was always gassing me. I believed the hype, bro. I was just gassing it. I was that guy from young till forever. And it's kind of like dad as well instilling that in me, just like you can do it, like whatever. You can do anything you want to, rare. And I need to stop saying rare as well. I just hear it. I've been listening back. I say that so much. Anyway, man. I have had that. It has been knocked when I'm getting rinsed by different musicians like Peter Hannigan, dad's old bass player.
I knew you was gonna say him.
That guy used to ride me, boy. Yo. When I say, because I was young, and I would be, as a drummer, I would be slowing down, speeding up, not paying attention, you know what I mean? Because that's what drummers do. You're not on it. You feel like you're on time, but really you're moving. So he banged that into me, boy, shouting at me on stage and that, like, come on, speed up, slow down, solid.
For context, this is me and Andre's dad's choir, IDMC, that we both played for from a young age. But go on.
But so, but really, I was just thinking, what's this problem, man? I'm calm. Like, what's this problem,
this, bro?
Now, I'm here, baby. Come on, man. I'm 9. I'm sick, bro. What, did you not see me?
Be impressed with my age, bro. What do you mean shouting at me?
People rate me. What? So
does he not know who I am?
Like, bro, like.
Hey, I'll never forget that video. I think it's Andre playing drums when he's like 2 or something, bro.
What?
At your dad's concert. What?
Yeah, I was 9.
Oh, he's 9. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
When I was running up the stage and that,
You cut that out, no?
He got this.
Yeah, man. See what I'm saying? Though, I had moments like that where it's like everyone's rating the thing. So
and then I was
like,
going primary school the next day, like, yo, I just capped up them drums.
primary
Like,
school, calm. We played that in that show and tell, one of them ones.
Yeah.
I played that video still, man.
Jeez,
Man, them were
yeah.
rating me, innit?
Like,
Don't know. Big man.
show
out
man
here
them
in
levels,
primary
bro.
school. Huh?
You man doing your ABCs. I'm out here on big stages, bro.
Innit? You see me? It's funny, when I went Barbados with my dad's choir when I was 12, we brought back the newspaper and brought it to school, bro. So all my friends was like, "Rah, is that what you did?" Rah."
See.
It's always a gases, man. It's always been a gases. So honestly, I can say I've just genuinely just been confident in my abilities. There's been times when I'm thinking, all right, I've got to catch up. Or I don't know if that's a confidence thing though. That's probably just me being aware of what's going on around me. Like when I was playing one gig when I was really young, playing with like Howard Francis and Mike Brown and Gareth Fuller and a bunch of other just like legends. Jeffrey Wine as well, keyboardist. That's my cousin as well. When I was playing with them, they were riding me as well because I was young. Like onto me, like play on the beat. No, play behind the beat. Why are you? Back then, what's behind the beat? What? What are you talking about? What do you mean? I'm playing to the click. You man have been onto me all rehearsal to play to this click. Now I've got it to tell me I need to sit back. What? What are you actually talking
that's
about?
That's such a mad concept when you don't know what it is. Like,
The worst, man.
Because you know what's funny about that? One time, Freddie Thompson said something similar to me. It wasn't like at a gig, but he was just giving me advice on bass player. And he was saying the difference between like me playing a track and someone else is playing a track is knowing when to be ahead of the beat, on the beat, and behind the beat. And at the time, I was probably 18 or something. I was like, the hell are you talking about, bro? In my mind, I was like, what do you mean ahead of the beat, behind? But now I'm like, I understand that 100%.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
it's just a feel thing. But yeah, so.
All right, break it down in 5 points then.
Shut up, man. You got to play 3 milliseconds behind the click.
All right, yeah, man. But yeah, like things like that. I don't know if it not. I don't think it not my confidence. Generally, even now, I just genuinely believe I'm the best man in my head. Even if I'm not, I know I'm out of practice. Like in my head, yeah, I'm the best, but out of practice. That's just how my brain thinks. That's just how I move with it.
But when you come back,
when I come back, it's a mad thing.
It's a
lockdown.
Yeah,
Lock me in that chamber for a few months though, because boy, man is rusty. But yeah, when man's here, I'm here. I just know that I don't know. I just feel like there's a lane for me, and my thing is my thing, and no one can do what I do, how I do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Definitely.
In
but
saying
I want to speak on that though still.
Yeah, go on.
Because I feel like for me, that's something I've never been sure of.
Yeah.
What is my lane? Like,
Yeah.
where do I position myself? I guess, you spoke about kind of your dad and his support of you and just kind of been like, do you know what I mean? Yeah, like just encouraging. And obviously, I played the shows with you and I know what your pops is like with both of you. So you probably, I don't know, did he help kind of put you on that path of knowing what your lane is and what you're good at, as well as instilling that confidence in you, would you say?
I guess so. So
To an extent,
obviously
yeah.
we all started in church, playing, and obviously that's just in itself, that's just a whole building experience, which if you have the chance to, you should do it. You should go find a church and start playing in church and build yourself that way. I think it's the best education you can get, really, because you're thrown so many different scenarios, so many different genres that you don't realize at the time, but you're doing hella different stuff every week on the fly, having to adapt, tempo changing mid-song, and you're going with them. Then you change section mid-section, and you're with you. But I digress. It's kind of shaped how I've played, how I play, and how I feel about how I play. Just the music that he's put in front of me and the music that I've had to play. In terms of that being my lane, yeah, I guess I feel like everything you kind of do and everything you listen to influences how you come out and your sound, in a sense. So yes, it has kind of shaped what I do and what I see as my lane. Definitely. Definitely.
What about you,
Dana,
Dan?
what do you
Yeah, I'd say so because I think some of the early bass players my dad put me onto, no one was listening to. So I think from then, and then even just bass players I chose myself to listen to, but like from then, it just kind of set me on a path. Like I think he gave me, what I credit my dad for, is giving me a really good musical foundation to kind of build from. So I always, if certain chops I weren't banging, certain chops I was doing wasn't banging or something, I know I could always go back down to just base zero. And I know my feel's still nice because of this foundation my dad's given me. So it's always kept me in my lane, really. And that's you know, something you said earlier, Aaron, about the kind of approval thing with like, I think maybe you didn't use the word approval, but
I think I did, but yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Validation, isn't it?
Yeah.
With that, I think that happens with every musician, but I feel like I do seek it. Like it's just positive reinforcement. Like as someone give me a little nod or say, "Oh, that was nice." Like just give me that little, and I'm nice. But even if that isn't happening, I know if I could just fall back on what my foundation is and just play that, I'm still gonna be like a 7 out of 10. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So, with that question, Aaron, was that something you feel you didn't get?
Yeah, I think so. I was having this conversation with my wife the other night, just about how I felt about that, kind of just wanting to know that everything's alright, like what I'm doing is cool and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I grew up in a household where there was music played and stuff. My parents weren't like musicians or anything like that, so I never had I was never given music to digest and say, sit on this, and do you know what I mean, and understand it and kind of find your place in it. I kind of my dad got me a guitar when I was year 6, I think it was, but which I didn't play until I was probably year 9 or something like that. But like I had lessons, but I kind of had to build my own sort of foundation of music and and kind of work out what I like for myself, and then gauge if it sounds good by myself, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like, whenever I guess my parents' musical opinion to me didn't matter because they weren't musicians, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? When a punter says to you, "Yeah, bruv, you killed it, man. That was wicked." It's like, yeah, cool.
Yeah,
But when,
safe,
do you know what I mean? But when your MD says, "Bruv,
Yeah.
that was deep," you're like, yeah, that feels nice, sort of thing.
I did that.
So obviously, that's no disrespect.
Qualified validation, isn't it?
Say that again.
It's qualified validation.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously, I appreciate my parents because they, financially.
Nah, don't try it, bro. You just dimmed them off, bro.
No, bro. They stayed in their lane, innit? They was like, we don't know this music thing like that. So we'll bust you the peas. You have your lessons, you know what I mean? We'll give you a guitar sort of thing. But yeah, I think that's something that I probably liked. Just that kind of foundation of, you got this, like, you're wicked. You can do anything. Just keep working hard to get there. And I think for a long time, I sort of thought that you've either got the talent or you don't have it. So whenever I couldn't do something, I was just like, it's just because I can't do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As opposed to having a musical opinion of, actually, if you work hard at this thing, you can definitely do it. And I've already seen in you that you've got the ability to do it because I rate you. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think I had that, and I think that's something I've carried. That I carried and continue to carry, and sort of working through at the moment how to kind of build that strength up. Yeah.
But on that talent thing, I think we talked about this a little while ago in the group chat about talent, natural talent, and that myth. I think it is kind of a myth. I think you dispelled it as well in your dissertation, that it just is just hard work at the end of the day.
Brother.
That regardless of anything, if you
I disagree, man. I think natural talent's a thing still.
There's a natural like.
I disagree. I'm not gonna lie.
There's a natural. Well, I mean, from what I've read, obviously, man did the research and that. So
listen to the scholar.
Read, it's like, you know what I mean. Then it's just like mentality. It's about mentality. From what I've read, it's like it's the kind of environment that you're exposed to early on will always kind of shape musically where you go. But there are some things that some people pick up quicker than others. And I think sometimes, I mean, obviously we're all different. Our brains all work differently. But there are sometimes some ways you're exposed to music or your instrument which immediately fits how you learn. And I think that can fire your trajectory, like, do you know what I mean? Just upwards and upwards and upwards. But I think in some ways, like, you know, traditional music lessons for your instrument, they don't work for everyone. So they have to find their way of best learning, which might take a bit longer. And I think, I think that's kind of the journey I sort of found myself on a little bit. But I mean, some people's timing is just, some people you say their timing is just there, like they just have that pocket naturally. But then when you talk to them, it's like actually they play drums alongside playing guitar. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, oh, so you actually have good timing because you're a drummer who plays guitar as opposed to. But yeah, anyway, Dana, what do you think about that? You disagree?
Dana was doing fake news, man.
No, you know, it's interesting your point. It's gone out of my head now.
Yeah, that's right.
But, yeah, man.
Make music.
No,
great
I
again,
just think,
innit?
I do think, because what you said about the way you learn can be, it can trigger your like trajectory essentially with your instrument. So that makes sense to me. But that's what I register as the kind of natural thing essentially. I do feel like, especially I think mostly with drummers, I feel like if you haven't had it from a young age, I feel like if you're a drummer, bruv. But you're gonna just learn drums.
I don't know, man.
Tell me a drummer that picked it up at 15 and he's a bad boy.
Fermi.
He didn't pick up at 15.
Yeah, he
Fermi
picked up late,
started
bro.
proper late.
Yeah,
And
late.
that guy's a killer.
He had that
started
naturally,
proper
bro.
late.
That was natural.
I've got like 10 years. I've got like 10 years on Fermi, honestly.
That was natural.
He
man.
is
That was natural.
so
He
much
had it,
better
he just
than me,
didn't
bro.
use it yet.
He's a killer.
Even you know Lawrence Insula,
Yeah.
bass player. He picked up the bass late. Like
Yeah.
I was already playing guitar when he just started playing bass, and I can't remember. I was a teenager. I think he was in his early 20s, maybe, when he started playing bass.
Really?
Yeah, and like
that's
4
crazy.
years, I heard him again, and I was like, like
I
what?
can't lie, but bass is the only instrument you can do that on.
No, Femi. You know
Nah,
Femi.
man.
Femi Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Sorry if
Yeah.
I pronounced that incorrectly, but he was my lecturer at uni, and I'm sure he said as well he started playing guitar when he was 18.
Mad.
But then,
No, but I'm saying,
so do you
he's put
think
in
it's
years,
only,
but
sorry.
no,
So
I'm
do you
saying he's
think
put
it's-
in years.
Go on, Jay. Go.
I'll put you through.
Yeah, I'm saying he's put in the years to get where he is. But I feel like just in general, just a little stab at bass players. You could do 2 years at bass and you'd be alright, you know. Like, you can do the little Jerry slide like after 2 years, you know. You know,
Just
you UK
tune
guys
down
love
a
to
half step,
copy,
get some thicker
innit?
strings.
Love to copy Jerry, man. Shout out to Jerry, by the way. Shout out to Jerry. Anyway, then
Just hit that lick as well, then.
yeah. Exactly. Anyway, what
Open
were you
B.
saying, bass player?
Pardon?
Yeah, Dana, what you saying, mate?
No, I was saying, I just feel like some part of that's natural though. The ability to just learn something, to be able to not master, but like get so good at an instrument in 2-4 years. Whereas people have been playing 18 years and they're like just okay. I feel like that's some of that's natural, but that's God given in my opinion. But, yeah, man. I mean,
Well,
that's how I
the
feel,
jury's
yeah.
out on that because Aaron disagrees and he's a scholar on that. So yeah, anyway, let's move on. Yeah,
No, bro. I'm just go on, move on, go on.
yeah, because Dana's spreading fake news to everyone, man. Come on, we've got to be responsible with our platform.
5G towers, man. It's the 5G towers.
All right, let's go back.
Good musicians.
Let's go back.
5G towers.
What were we talking about, man? Mentality.
Mentality.
We talk about confidence and stuff. Do you think though, what's the difference between confidence and like arrogance as a musician now, or as a person who does this? Dana, come on, man, you're Mister. Confident / arrogant.
I think arrogance, because I'm very confident, but I'm like smidgen arrogant as well. So, it's a very fine line, and the lines can be blurred very easily. I think
Do you
have a
think
good
arrogance is just when you're not good?
Huh?
Do you think arrogance is when you're not good, but you're confident?
I think that's ignorant still.
No, that's ignorant. Okay.
Ignorant to the fact that you're not good.
Fair enough. I don't know then.
I don't know. Well, I think arrogance comes in how you carry yourself a little bit. And then that can turn into over arrogance. Because like, my confidence allows me to play well. My smidgen of arrogance allows me to do certain chops and know I'm going to make the one. And like the kind of audacity to do certain things.
Yeah,
But then extreme arrogance can come from just not playing pocket at all and then treating people like they're below you. That's one thing I don't think I'll ever do is like treat a man like he's not something just because, or like treat, I don't know, for example, if a big time producer like, I don't know, Grammy winning or something calls me to play a track and just like a random producer from ends calls me to play a track, I'm going to give them the same level of bass playing. I'm not going to just like scrub the little man because he's a little man. And I think that
makes sense. That makes sense. Aaron, what do you think, man? What do you think? Fine line?
Yeah, I think all my favorite musicians play arrogantly. And yeah, I think that arrogance is the audacity to try things and to play things that shouldn't go there, shouldn't be allowed, that the normal person wouldn't try, which I think is elite mentality. So it's so it's like, do you know what I mean? Like I just have flashbacks of listening to music with my sister, Stephanie, who plays keys, and like my favorite guitar player, she'd just be like, "Why are they doing that there? That shouldn't be allowed. That shouldn't be allowed. Only they can do that."
We did had this conversation today. What's the song, Dana? What's the song?
So there's this track, Wham, Wake Me Up Before You Go.
Yeah.
And in like the first pre-chorus, and bear in mind, this is like 20 seconds into the song, this bass player does a chop, and it's, is there a way to play
rude.
it?
I'll put it in. Can we put music in? I'll put it in. It's 20 seconds.
It'll
I'll
be
put
fine.
it in.
Yeah.
We just started.
I'll drop it.
But
go
he
on,
does a
go on.
chop 20 seconds into the track, and it's just like, how dare you do it there? Because it's like, it's dirty. Like, let me just play it for now, and then we can.
No.
Meet. Bruh.
First pre.
I'm like, first pre, not even bridge or second pre.
Man said,
And bear in
"Yo, I'm
mind,
here."
and Aaron, he doesn't chop for the rest of the song, bruv. He just does that.
That arrogance.
Bruv, you're telling me that's not
Arrogance.
like, you're telling me he's not feeling himself to a level
Yeah,
where
yeah,
he can
100.
do that confidently on track and then play pocket for the rest of the song.
100.
Nah, bro.
100. He went in, bro.
Sorry, go on, Aaron. It was your point.
Never read them.
So peak.
That is funny.
That was so bad. Like that was.
How can you do that? It's
Ben,
rude, you know.
That's the arrogance. That's the arrogance for me. It's like, man, just say, yeah, I'm just gonna drop this here, and you're not gonna take it out because it's that good.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that arrogance is a beautiful thing, man. And I think that's the thing that kind of, that for me is the thing that kind of attracts you to musicians. It's like, whew, like, this guy's, he's got it and he knows where to use it. And the confidence. I think the confidence is that natural inbuilt confidence. I think keeps good musicians playing at a consistent 85 to 90. But then the arrogance will just tip them to that 95, 97 sort of bracket. Do you know what I mean? But they don't. You don't ever want. There's never too much arrogance, because too much arrogance, I feel, is just overplaying.
Yeah.
And then and there's also the aspect of being that good, but also never treating anyone like you, like you're better than them, that they're less than you. So yeah, I think there's quite a clear distinction between the two.
Yeah.
What do you think of it?
Yeah, I echo the same sentiments, really. It's like confidence is the positive side of arrogance, in a sense. Arrogance is when you lean too far to the other side and you're doing things just for you, and you're like, you don't care about the whole gig, whereas confidence is just you being, okay, I'm good, I'm meant to be here and I can do this in a sense, you know? Let's shift gears a bit. I think in this game you kind of need a certain type of mindset, really. Just in general, just these kind of fields of work where things aren't always straightforward and they're not as easy. I wouldn't say easy, but not as straightforward is the word. Straightforward as other professions. Then what mindset do you think you need to have in this kind of industry?
You have to be pretty strong-willed, I think, to be able to just essentially keep it moving. I know, like, a lot of people use that phrase, but a lot of the times you do have to keep it moving. If a tour comes and it gets cancelled or something, that you can't really dwell on it. If you take time to feel sorry for yourself, nothing's going to happen. You need to go out, try and get more work, or try and go forward. So I think you just have to be very strong-minded in terms of approaching gigs and stuff. I think again it goes back to the kind of confidence thing. I think you have to go in thinking, I'm gonna clap this up, or I think you have to go in thinking, I'm about to bad this gig up, because I don't think you can go do well on a gig, or I don't think you can truly be great at your instrument without having the mentality to be great. You're not going to be great by accident. You know what I mean? Obviously I said this to you guys before, but when a reason I enjoy watching basketball so much is because, one, it's like a fun sport, but two, I listen to a lot of podcasts, and when they talk about their mentality and towards the game, it's like when they go out to take a shot, they think every single shot they take is going in. And if they miss 3 in a row, they're like, okay, I'm definitely going to score the 4th one then. That's the way they attack that thing. So I kind of try and adopt that mentality of I'm going to be great today. Every session I go to, I'm going to smack up this session. I'm going to be great. And usually that's the outcome.
Yeah. There's something to that, really. And that's a lot of the books you read and just things you hear from successful people is, I have this mentality, this mindset that, look, I'm going to win, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And they end up more often than not doing it. And it's not just empty thought. It's you saying, look, I'm going to do this. And then you putting yourself in that best position to actually do that as well. And whether that's practicing or reaching out or, you know what I mean? There's so many different things you can do, but that winning mentality is definitely something that's been pushed forward by a lot of other successful people. Aaron, what do you think about mindset in general as well?
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Kind of drawing the sports comparison, because that's what I love and enjoy. It's it's the Bruno Fernandes mentality. It's you give 4 passes away, your pass completion is 47%. But if you get a free kick in the last minute, that's bins, bruv.
Lenging it, yeah.
You're bins in it, big man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You play trash the whole game, but there's a penalty last minute. I'm stepping up to take that, and I'm bins in it.
Yeah.
And you do, and it's that thing of like Dana said, nothing can knock me down. I just continue to get back up again, and I know that I'm gonna give each effort the same amount of vim. Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna just keep going and keep going and keep going. But I think the funny thing about that is sometimes it's one of those unwritten rules or secrets to, I guess, being successful at anything you do is that to be strong. I don't want to say strong will, but having that strong sense of self-belief or self-confidence, I'd say. That's something that, I went to university and did and studied music, but it's that wasn't a module. That wasn't a thing we talked about. But I wish it was, because if everything, having confidence in yourself is the thing that pushes you, propels you forward past the next man. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter how well prepared you are.
So much more important now.
Say again?
I said it's so much more important now as well. just mindset,
Yeah.
just in general with social media and everything that people have to deal with. Younger generations than ours, they're struggling at it. They're in the mud just because of what they have
I
to
never
deal
had
with.
to think about. Yeah, I never had to think about posting videos and whatnot when I was starting as a musician and what I sounded like as at the beginning phases. I just did that stuff behind closed doors or playing in a band or whatever. But now it's like all that stuff is online, so you have to have that mentality of like this video might not pop like the next one, but I'm still going to give it the same energy and I'm going to continue. If I've got a plan, I'm going to see the plan through and not let, lack of engagement decide whether or not I continue. And that's even speaking to myself, because sometimes, as musicians, we get to a place where if you continue to listen to yourself and listen to yourself, I believe that your ears will continue to develop and you'll be like, okay, I need to sort that out about my playing or sort this out.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can feel like, actually, none of this is worth sharing because I don't want it out there because I'm not happy with it. But it's like, so no, sometimes, like Dana said, you just kind of have to believe in every shot you're taking is going in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just
Genuinely,
continue to grow.
Yeah. And
I think that's... Go on, Dylan.
Sorry, go Andrew. Yeah. I was gonna say
So I was gonna say So I was gonna say.
So
Go on then.
Obviously, I'm like one end of the spectrum where like I just think I'm gonna do very well, but I've seen what happens when someone isn't confident in themselves in a session or like a recording setting, and they're like a simple part that I know they can play for a fact, they might flop it just because they're worried that they might not be able to play it.
Yeah. That's red light, man. That's me. That's me on keys. Whenever I record keys, So I don't even know what it is, because I know I can play it, But honestly, any keys part takes me about 5-6 tries just to get it down. Even though I played it fine, recording, played it fine, like vibing it out. Vibes and adding extra bits. Yeah, man, I'm the guy. As soon as that red light's on, boy, oh my gosh. 5 takes, 6 takes. But I don't care. I still know. I know I'm gonna get it. So I don't actually get it. I'll be doing it in sessions with artists and that, just like 7 takes.
Yeah, but like last,
let's go again. Let's go again.
It's rough, man. And you can see their confidence draining with each take that they flop and stuff.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I don't know if it's my lack of sympathy coming in. I don't know what to say to you, bro. Just play the track.
Just play it.
It's funny you say that, because I was literally gonna say, I feel like musicians should have a duty of care to each other, because like, I don't know, I feel like I grew up in a generation of like, if you made a mistake, people laughed at you. And it's like,
defo.
then you never want to make a mistake. And it was always people at a kind of similar age to you, like not like the olders or whatever, but it was like that similar age, and it's kind of like they'll kind of laugh at you or make you just feel like, oh, bro, you're rubbish, or you need to go back to the, you know what I mean? You need to go back to the shed, bro. And it's like you feel wet after that. But I feel like, I don't know, to be able to get the best out of people.
But
to be able to get the best out of people, you need to be able to like...
That's a rite of passage, man. It's kind of rite of passage, though, isn't it? Like, it's made you...
Again, it depends on your mentality. Do you know what I mean? So if you're strong like that, then you can handle saying, go back to the shed.
Yeah.
But equally, like Dana said, sometimes it's like, you actually can play that, but you just need to feel relaxed. Do you know what I mean? Like, when it's an artist, the engineer and the producer and whatever, they'll always make the artist feel relaxed. They're never going to be like, you actually need to go back home and pattern yourself. Do you know what I mean? Because most of the time, nothing is that difficult to play, really. It's just a matter of how confident are you on the day and how well prepared are you.
It's true, and I think I do hear what you're saying, because there's definitely some environments we've all three actually been in where the room's not that nice, like it's not nice. But if you make a mistake, it's not nice. Not saying that I wasn't even there in there that much, but Dana was, and Dana was always stressed. Not stressed because of he was making mistakes, but stressed because of other mistakes.
I was stressed because other people were making mistakes. I was getting That's part of the reason I hate rehearsals, bro. Why is our rehearsal running 2 hours later because you can't play the track, bro? Get over it, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
They were talking about helping people, man. And just
The
rinsing
arrogance
people
coming out.
again. Just nostalgic rinsing. Yeah. So we've all been in those rooms where it's just like it's not a nice environment when everyone's on edge, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like Dana said, with me, it's kind of like pattern up, man. You know, it's a bit unsympathetic, I guess, from me. But end of the day, it is a job. Yeah, it is a job, and
You've got to
have
perform,
you
like,
still
it's
have
a
to
job.
complete that. You still have to complete that to a certain level. You know.
Like if for example, sorry to cut you off, but if an accountant flops the accounts, you're not going to be sympathetic with them, are you? You're gonna rinse them, like well, not rinse them, but you're gonna be like, what's going on? Why are you not doing your job properly?
Yeah, you
So
explained
that's
that
why I'm kinda cutthroat with it.
on episode 1. You explained that when you rinsed the accountant for when you all sent in them emails, didn't you?
Oh yeah. But
That's funny. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, it's the same thing, but like, just do your job.
Same
That's
thing, yeah, do your
that's
job.
my thing with it. Yeah.
I think I'd have that approach maybe on a show day if it was if we done bare rehearsals
Yeah.
And then man's messing
in
the
rehearsals there was
arrangement.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think it's maybe yeah. I don't know. I just think
Like-
about if it was like my sister or
Yeah.
my daughter
yeah.
or my son, and I know they can play, but they're in a session and they're just unsure of themselves because the room is a bit more mature than they are. Do you know what I mean? And they it's that thing, just taking them under your wing and being like, just be relaxed. Do you know what I mean? It's when the youth players come through and the gaffer says, relax, just play a game,
Yeah,
enjoy yourself.
It's true. It's true.
Do you know what I mean? And the rest will come. It's like that sort of thing. Like, just take it easy, enjoy yourself. You know, it will come. But then on the game day, on the gig day, if they make mistakes, then you review that. Then you say, look, this is where you need to improve. Do you know what I mean? This is where you messed up or whatever. But
Yeah.
I think that's more how I see it. Not so much letting them off the hook, but
Yeah, I get you. No, that makes sense.
you know what I
man,
mean? Does that
'cause
make sense?
Now thinking back on it, I have been looked after by older musicians when I wouldn't say I was like dropping off, but they were just like, you cool? Like this is what rare. Just calm down, man. Let's have fun. You know what I mean? Just calm down. It's cool. It's cool. It's just a gig. You do this every week in church. You know, it's the same thing. So yeah, that's definitely been. All right, so we dealt with kind of mindset and mentality. Let's talk like setbacks and how they affected you. Yeah, have any of you ever been kicked off a gig? Aaron, been kicked off a gig before?
it's a weird one because being kicked off a gig is like, there's two ways I think there's to be kicked off a gig. I think there's you do a gig and
MD
then
way.
and then the MD changes and then the MD gets a new band.
Yeah, MD way.
You know what I mean? Or yeah, them ones where like, you know, you see the artist in rehearsal and it's a new band on Instagram or something like that. Do you know what I mean? But I've never been like emailed and say we're gonna go in another direction.
Yeah.
That's never happened to me.
It's true that doesn't
Yeah,
actually
it's
happen.
the
No,
same-
that happened to me.
Same, I think.
Which I think in
What's that,
some
Dana?
ways I think is a bit.
Nah, just agreeing.
I was gonna say in some ways I think it's a bit more respectful if I don't know, whoever's in charge says, hey man, we're gonna go in a different direction with the band or with your particular instrument. Thanks for your time.
Yes,
for your
it's not nice when you
energy or
just see
whatever.
it on Insta. You're like, rah. Because
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
You only ever really see it just on Insta when it's just like, oh, okay. Rah, like,
Yeah.
Then you just texting the man, them like,
Yeah.
oh, what happened?
Yeah, I had that once, and I spoke to the manager of the artist later on in the year because I was just like, I felt like when the band got changed, they just took away a lot of the brown faces in the band, and it was a lot
Oh yeah.
more like, I guess it was a lot whiter, which is synonymous with an artist getting bigger. And we never did bad jobs, bearing in mind.
Yeah.
But and when I was talking to her, she was just kind of like, there was no hard feelings or anything. She was kind of like, well, I just was of the opinion that session musicians just chop and change. So you don't really need to say anything to them. You can kind of just move on and do your thing. Do you know what I mean? They can just change stuff. And I was like, I get that. I understand that. Because sometimes man will say, I can't do your gig because I've got another gig to do. So it's two sides. But I was just thinking, yeah, it'd be cool to change the culture around that and just communicate and just say thanks for your time. Do you know what I mean? Because then you see them at another gig and it's like awkward.
You're always going to see them. You're always going to see them again.
Yeah, after you've been on, buses with them or whatever, or planes, and you've bantered and, you know what I mean? You know each other. I just, just change the culture a bit. That'd be quite cool. Both ways as well. Like, but yeah.
Dana?
No, I don't think I've been kicked off a gig. Not that I can remember. I've been. They've decided to just do keys and drums.
Yeah, don't get me started. That's a whole other thing. That's a whole other thing.
That's happened, which is annoying, especially when you've kind of turned stuff down because you think you're going to be with them next year.
Oh, man.
And then they've just like, yeah, cool, let's go with keys and drums, and then, or you hear they got a tour coming up, and then they don't tell you towards the end that they're just going with keys and drums, or just drums and track, or so that's happened. I don't think I've been replaced by another bass player. I don't think that's ever happened. But
Well, I have. I think I talked about. Was it last episode or the episode before?
Yeah, you talked about it.
Well, what was that? What gig was that?
The gig with the night
tracksuits, man. The night tracksuits.
Oh, that one. Oh, bro, come on, man.
Yeah, I know it weren't patterns. Yeah, but still, come on, man.
Yeah, the pride still, yeah.
No, what if I'm a pride thing? Because like, if I'm honest,
it was the way they did it, innit?
It was the way.
It was the way.
Yeah. They hid behind my daughter's illness.
Yeah,
and said that I need to spend time with her, even though I was spending time with her and I needed money. But yeah,
it was nuts.
Let's not.
It was nuts.
Let's not. Anyway, but I guess those are the setbacks, isn't it? When they go, oh yeah, we're just going DJ, we're just going guitar and track, we're just going drums and track, bass and track.
Actually, do you know what? Sorry to interject. I tell a lie. There has been one time I got kicked off a gig. I was playing for this American girl. I didn't even know how massive she was actually until I started. Until I did a gig and just tagged her name in it and said it was a great show. And then the phone blew up all night. But she was cool. Every time she came over, like, you know the ones where they remember your name and it's like, okay, cool. Yeah. Maybe there's like a relationship building here where, you know. And she's like, yeah, I'm going on tour in Europe next year. Like, why don't you come? And then I was like,
they're always going on tour, aren't they?
You know the ones, like, okay, we'll see. When the email comes through, when I'm on the plane, that's when I believe I'm on tour.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically.
Yeah, you know ones. But then, and then they hit me and they was like, yeah, so here are the dates. And I was like, yes, straight. The dates were peak, man. It must have been like a few months, man. And it was like US and Europe. And I was like, yeah. boy. And it felt nice because, you know, when you get a gig off your own back.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you made a contact and they remembered you, and it's just, and you're feeling nice. So I thought, yeah. And then the MD was like, yeah, can you do all the dates? And I was like, yeah, I've got a tour in between. And it was a month off they had. And I had a tour in the month off. And I had like 2 shows that crossed over between them flying out and me finishing. And they were like, yeah, you're going to have to give that tour up so you can do this one. I was like, are you sure? And he's like, yeah, give it up. So I did that, gave the tour away. And then they sent me all the dates or whatever.
I already know.
And then then there was rehearsals in America. And a few days before, I was like, a message and just say like, hey, like, we're going to get any songs. I can start listening to you. And they're just kind of like, oh, hey, I forgot to tell you that we've actually gone for a US band because of visa or whatever. But Man, the
Then
thing is,
why-
but I had a US visa anyway.
So they didn't even check.
Well, they did. They asked me. I
Yeah.
had it. They was like, "Can you send us your visa?" And I was like, "Yeah, cool." My visa ran out later on in the year. It was the beginning of the year. I gave them, I sent them all that, and they were just like, "Yeah, it's just easier." Like just, and I felt so moist after that. But also, I didn't recover for a minute because I was so vexed for time.
Yeah.
For
Because they made you give up a
long.
tour.
Yeah, bro. That was
That was the worst thing.
So long, man. So long. So that was. I guess that was getting kicked off a gig in a different kind of way, but they gave. But it was mine first. Like they said, not mine, but they said, can you commit to
doing
it
it,
first?
yeah.
And I committed to it.
And they made you commit and took away, and made you give up the other tour.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's pain. That's
Yeah.
pain. I didn't actually realize you gave up another tour for that one.
I did. Yeah, I did.
How did you get over that, man? Jeez.
I learned a lot
Still
in that
over it.
moment. No, I'm over it. I'm over it now, but I learned a lot. The reason I'm over it is because you quickly realize that these things come and go, like touring and gigs and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like 2 months and it would have been done, and then I would have looked back and been like, "Wow, that happened quickly." But I learned a lot from that situation, just about like, just thinking about beforehand. If you're going to go away for a long time, you're going to get a down payment of your money.
Yeah.
You're going to get paid weekly. You're going to get paid monthly. Are there any stipulations for early cancellations? That sort of stuff. And I went through a phase of like trying to learn that stuff for myself and just kind of like safeguard myself, I guess. So that made me a lot more aware and a bit sharper to people just saying, yeah, come, we're going on tour and we're doing this and that. And I'm like, actually, what's the piece thing?
Listen,
when we getting paid,
man.
because I'm not
There's
trying
so
to go
many-
out for
there's-
no, no £20
Yeah,
to America.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, that's how I bounced back from it.
There's so many tours, man, that we've been promised. They remember we was gonna go India.
What?
Oh, don't even start, brother.
Hey!
Don't even start, brother. Don't even.
We
leave
was
it.
gonna go India one time, man. Like, yeah,
but
what's your deal?
They were just on air though. They were chatting nonsense,
Yeah,
bro,
hella
the
yeah.
entire time. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Question for you guys. Have you like done an audition, not gotten it, and it knocked your confidence at all?
Yes.
Yeah, yes. No. Let me speak about mine quickly. Yeah, 'cause
Yeah, go
mine
ahead.
was my fault. Mine was my fault. Yeah.
Yeah,
Who was the artist? It was.
It was
I think it
Jones,
was
innit?
Jones. It was Jones. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what did I call her?
you could have like Jazz or Ray or something.
No, I called her another light skinned artist.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to think
Like-
who the artist was.
She's not around no more. I don't think.
No, Hugh Jones ain't.
Oh, you could have mine.
No.
innit?
Yeah, I called her Amani. So in my head, yeah, that's why I lost it. I didn't get that. Because I know I
probably.
clapped that. But I don't know why I did it. I just rattled. Because you know me. You know me. I'm a pretty
correct.
calm guy. Like
You're correct,
I come
yeah.
correct. You know what I mean? So I genuinely do not understand what happened that day, boy. Called her by the wrong name immediately in the bin, bro.
And bottled
In
it under the
bin.
lights, boy.
Yeah, bottled, absolutely bottled.
That's
Cup
funny.
final, last penalty of the game. Skied it.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. Anyway, Aaron. Sorry, I just had to get that out.
That's so jokes, man. I did an audition for. Oh, who was it? Do you remember? Oh man, this group, they did like spoken word. Something house, horn house. No, what was it? Oh man, I can't remember what they're even flipping
Yeah.
called now. Do you, remember, you don't know them, do you? Horn
No, I
house,
don't know
somehow.
Horny House, man. I don't know who that is.
No horny house, bro.
Been the kind of man you're playing
That's
for,
what you
yeah.
said, bro.
Okay.
Bro, like, man. Anyway, it was some sick band. They were good.
Yeah.
Playing for
But I
Brussels
did the
now.
audition. I did the audition, and I remember I played really, really well. But I didn't get it. But the person who did the audition said I did really, really well. Like, yeah, you did great, man. Like, I'm really impressed with like how much you've improved and stuff like that. But I didn't get it, so it kind of knocked me because I was just like, what is it? Is it? What else like can I have done? And that kind of
Yeah,
knocked me a
yeah.
bit. But I was slightly still reassured because he had said like you've improved so much since the last time I heard you.
Okay.
And then I had I did an audition for Tiny Temper, and that was one of the scariest things I've ever done in my whole life.
Yeah.
I didn't get that, but again, someone in the room said, "Yeah, bro, like you sound nice, man." So that was okay. Confidence knocked a little bit, but still kind of restored because someone gave me that affirmation of that was good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But then the one that rattled me was I did one for Jacob Banks once. I didn't hit anything back at all. Like, not even a thank you for coming, nothing like that. Do you know
So what? You just walked out, it was silent, yeah? You packed up in it.
Yeah, bro, I didn't even play badly. Like, I thought it was quite calm, man. But I just did nothing back, boy. And, yeah, I mean, it didn't destroy me, but I was just like, yikes, that must have been bad.
Oh, well, to be honest, they went with a guy who was playing like keys and guitar and programming as well, bro.
Yeah. It ended up being that kind of gig, so I wouldn't have fit that because I didn't know my way around that stuff. Then.
Yeah. What about you, Dana?
I think only one's knocks my confidence. I did one for Craig David years ago.
Yeah.
And I remember I did the audition. Like, I didn't think I clapped it, but I thought I did okay. And then the MD after, he goes, "Yeah, man, that was cool, but like, try and cut down on the gospel chops." I was like, I was like, black guy as well, so it wasn't even like a racial thing. It was just
Kwame, innit? Like, Kwame done, right?
Yeah, Kwame
done. Yeah. But you like stuff pretty straight from what I've heard.
Yeah, he said that to me. And what was funny, I actually learned in that audition because just something like particular, it was just note lengths, like when to come off and be on the note, just something simple like that. But like you pointed that out to me, I was like, right, I haven't even considered that ever. So like, I actually learned in that audition. But yeah, that was one where I was like, because I didn't even think I was like a mad gospel-y bass player at the time. I thought, like, obviously I've come from church, so I'm gonna have that feel, but I didn't think all my chops were gospel chops. But then it kind of rattled my playing. I was like, right, am I just some church bass player?
We're gonna listen to some Aerosmith, man.
Yeah, but I think that's the only one that's rattled me. All the other ones, even the ones I haven't got for like big artists, it's just been frustrating more than anything. I'm like, I know I clapped the audition. I could see your head nodding. Like, I can see you smiling at me. I know I've clapped this. Like, I could name a solid 3, like, with like Jessica Lynn, John Newman. I can't think of any more, to be fair. But I could see them.
You did
vibing,
well. You know you did well.
Lashed.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on. I can't like, this ain't about my bass playing because I know I clapped that up. So it's just been frustrating to not get them because I'm like, I know I've played well. I can see it.
Yeah,
I can see
But
it.
the funny thing is though,
playing,
like,
is it?
now we've done pop stuff. It's like the playing thing is not even
secondary.
It's usually not the biggest factor. It's just it's the hang, it's the chill, and it's also like what you look like and your image, and will it fit the overall like picture of where they want to go.
Yeah.
And that's
Can't look too gospel-y, innit?
Yeah, and it's so like it's so dead because obviously once you learn those lessons like Dana did about like your note length and actually playing the song, like then it's just literally down to how do you look with the rest of the band. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you know your parts, so obviously you can play and all that stuff, but it's just it's how do you look and like I guess is the MD gonna not get on with you, but is there like a good vibe in the room and all that sort of stuff in it?
And that's a deeper, darker thing. That how do you look stuff? Because a lot of the time, it's another pod, isn't it? But a lot of the time we end up looking too gospel-y. #gospel-y.
#gospel-y. I got asked to do an audition once for a big pop artist, and they CC'd me in the email with the other guitar player that they asked to do like the audition, and we both replied and said yeah, up for it, like up to do the audition. Didn't get any reply back, and then he was just on the gig.
Mad.
So I was like, what was the point?
What? What? I just wanted to let you know that you did not get it, bro. That's it.
He just wanted to let me know that he just decided to pick this guy instead of actually auditioning both of us.
Yeah, that's weird. What? Man. That's weird.
Weird. I don't get it. I don't get how the thing works, bro.
Yeah, man.
I'll never understand.
I think a lot of these things can kind of knock us down a bit, but it's important to just, I don't know, believe in your source, man.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier. You just like you got to have that keep it moving mentality. You can't dwell on the things too much because if you dwell on it, you're just gonna be depressed. You just got to keep it moving. Take the next shot. If it misses, take the next shot. If it misses, eventually one's gonna go in. So yeah.
I think we've kind of touched it, but with this whole mentality mindset business, and say like you didn't get this gig and you see someone else getting that gig now, are you now comparing yourself to them? Is that comparison game happening? Yeah, I don't know. Is that what
Yeah,
happens with you a
definitely.
lot?
And I try not to, but it's hard not to compare yourself to others. But when you're seeing it in your face on Instagram every day or whatever, it's I think it's I find it's quite difficult not to, and I'm still trying to work on that really. But yeah, I'm thinking, what is he doing that I'm not doing? Because
Yeah,
because a lot of the time I can't find the answer, so
yeah,
that's where I get to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm just not going to dwell on it because there's no point. But yeah, a lot of the time I'm like, I don't know what I'm not doing for him to get the gig over me, kind of thing. Yeah, man.
yeah. Aaron, what do you think about that?
Yeah, same, man.
comparison
Same.
game.
I think for me as well, like, because there aren't a lot of there aren't many guitar players who look like me who kind of do
Yeah.
this job. So a lot of the time, if I'm in the running to go for something and I don't get it, or I'm switched out for someone else or whatever, I am immediately listening to how they play it, and being like, kind of like Dana, well, I can do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like on a basic level, I can do that. Or actually, what they're asking them to play is actually what I play, as opposed to what they're learning to play. Does that make
Yep.
sense?
Hashtag gospelly. Go on.
Hashtag gospelly, which is an interesting one because, you know, there is even just
another
touching
pod.
it
It's
quickly.
another
Even
pod.
touching it quickly, like there's this whole like Instagram style of playing guitar, which is like a neo soul-y, doing lots of licks and then doing a solo over it or whatever, and it's like it's weird to me. It's weird to me because you know when you know how something was, how it started out sounding, and then you can see how it's becoming something else. And but anyway, it's like I'll compare. I will definitely look at what they're playing and be like, okay, well I could play that as well. So I'm not sure why, you know, they've got that and I haven't got it. And then I think for me, then it's like, then it's a kind of a bit of a frustration because it's like, you know, is it because they've got this bit of gear or they got that bit of gear, or is it because, I don't know, they play a certain line like this instead of like this, and then you just start kind of over-analyze and stuff. Whereas I think if I had the approach that Dana was talking about earlier on, I would have just been like, kind of just water under a bridge sort of thing, if that's the right phrase, and just been like, oh, just keep going in it, because I believe that. I believe in my own ability.
Yeah.
What about,
think
do you get that with production at all, Andre, aside from drumming?
You know what? No, man.
No.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I do. So it's a comparison of opportunity rather than
Okay.
of skill.
Yeah.
Because in my head, I know I can produce with anyone. For my style, I know I can produce with anyone. It's calm. But it's, okay, I'm not in front of these people yet. I'm not in front of the right artists or the right A&Rs or the right managers or whatever. That's something in my head. I internalize everything, so it's for me to do rather than wait for someone else to try and.
Right.
That's the whole reason I've moved into production, so I can do
You can control
instead
it.
of wait. Yeah, in a sense. So there is that kind of comparison thing where it's like, I can make this, man. I can make this. I can really like. So I do have that, but it's more like, okay, when I get my chance, I'm calm.
Yeah.
Or when I work that opportunity out and I put myself in the right, because there's a thing called like, what is it? Luck is opportunity plus readiness or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
When
butchered it, but
preparation
it's
meets
basically that.
opportunity.
Yeah, preparation. Yeah. So in my head, I'm prepared, just haven't had the opportunity yet,
Yeah.
and it's for me to carve that out in a sense. So
I mean, that's a good mentality, to be honest. Like, you're not,
yeah,
You're not blaming the world, essentially.
Yeah, I try not to, because then what does that do other than bring
nothing.
you down? You know,
It's the same. It's just dwelling on it. It's not going to do anything.
only actually brings yourself down rather than you going, oh, that's calm, I can do that. I'll do that when I get my chance. You know.
Yeah.
So with the live stuff though, I definitely did used to compare, thinking, what? How's he on this gig? How's he on this gig? Like I can do that. Like how are people not? You know what I mean? Why is no one calling me? Like I sent my CV out. I sent my CV out. Why didn't they reply? Yeah, I've played at the O2. Played at the O2 Indigo.
I've gone to Barbados with my dad's choir.
Yeah. Why they not rating this? Everyone
I
else
got
does.
recorded a video when I was 9.
Yeah.
Bro, I've got history.
Bro, I've got history. I'm a legacy actor.
I've been playing drums.
Where were you when I was 9, bro?
Exactly. Where was you, bruv? So I have had that. But you know what it is? I got to a stage where it's like, okay, so this music thing isn't... How do I phrase this? So even someone that's killing it, touring, just as soon they could be off the gig and at home, just like me. And then they're in the same position as me. Just they did that tour a little while ago. Whereas I've done tours a little while ago and then I'll be at home. And it was a realization of just the level playing field we all kind of seem to be on in music, where you could be very high at one point, Instagram's popping, and then all of a sudden it's dried up. And you're just at home, you know what I mean? So when I realised that happens to literally everyone, I was like, oh, so there's no actual point me trying to get worried or upset about, oh, why has he got this gig? Because if it's meant for me, it will happen. If it doesn't, it's meant for someone else. Someone else got that gig. You know what I mean? I'm doing other things. I've got that piece that I know I've got enough income coming in from a few different areas where I don't actually need to play the comparison game because there's enough for everyone. Ish in the UK. Ish in the UK because it's quiet over here.
Breeze, yeah.
But yeah, but I think there is enough, and if it's meant for you, it will happen. So in my mindset, in that sense, is just like I can do it, so cool. I'll do it when I get a chance, or whenever I carve out that chance for myself. Do you lot set goals?
I have never set goals up until last year, 2020, which is a pointless year to start setting goals. Absolutely flipping pointless, bro. But yeah, I didn't set goals up until last year.
Yeah. Dana, set any goals?
I used to when I was younger.
Yeah.
Like 18 to like 21-ish, 22-ish, where I was like, all right, I want to do this year. I want to, I don't know, record on this or play for this level of artists and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I used to do it. I think I was pretty good in like achieving them.
Yeah.
And then at one point I couldn't think of a goal to set. So
Just kept it moving.
yeah.
Man, just
I think
max out
my
the
current
goals,
goal my current goal music wise is just to get on like a top 10 record in the UK, really. Or like a top 40 record in the UK. Recording.
Nice.
But yeah, and I'm just I guess working to that. That's the only thing music wise sort of I've got at the moment.
Yeah. I don't really set goals in music,
Yeah.
if I'm honest.
Like I have like kind of life goals, but not
Yeah.
so much music. But yeah, man.
But yeah, so yeah, I've never really set any music goals because music is a thing where it just happens, isn't it? you can't make anything happen, boy. Honestly, it just kind of happens for you. So within that, I try to just broaden them out to life, whether it's okay, earn a certain amount this year, or I don't know, perfect this skill, bloody blah blah blah. But in music, I don't really set goals, but in life, I do, and I've found that when you just set them, nothing really happens. You have to kind of set them and then, okay, put out your plan or do things that will put you in the best position to achieve that goal.
Yeah.
You know, I think there's a lot of this. I think we talked about it earlier, the manifestation, and if I just think it, if I just think it will happen. Yeah, I don't believe in that, man. There's something to it. There definitely is, but a lot of the part that people are missing out is the fact that
The work.
you can think. Yeah, you have to think it, then you have to do the work to
Yeah.
push yourself towards that.
Yeah.
And if you're internalizing that every day and thinking about it and saying it out loud, and then it's one of your goals, and then you're moving towards it every day, you're gonna get there.
Yeah.
It might take you long, but you're running your own race, so there's no rush anyway.
100%.
You know,
100%.
so you just have to set your goal and you set out actionable plans every week, every day, every month. Go towards it, man. That's what I think anyway. How do you?
Yeah, I agree. I think yeah, setting goals and understanding that you're kind of in your own lane and you run your own race is important. And I think that music, I'll speak more specifically, being a session musician, probably at the level that we're talking, which is, top 20 sort of artists.
Yeah, radio.
Yeah, radio artists, yeah. There's not much you can do to control how much work you get, other than I find just having strong friendship groups, and if one of you goes, you will go. Do you know what I mean? So if one of you's the MD, you get a job, then you're gonna pattern your guys and whatnot. I think that's what that's what I have observed of recent.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it works with the top 20 thing. But yeah, it's really hard to set goals. I think I'd set myself goals of achieving particular things and quickly sort of realize that I don't know, it wasn't in my control. Whether that be because I didn't know the right MD, or maybe didn't have that MD's trust. Maybe that's a better way of putting it. Like, maybe they didn't trust musically that you'd be able to do what they need you to do. But I do believe having goals are important because it just helps to move you forward. And a goal I've set for this year is just to learn as much music that I enjoy as possible. Because I think for a long time I've done the comparison thing and just wanted to kind of learn music that other people know how to play, and they're the people that are like busy and doing stuff. When really I should just continue to play the way I play and just believe in myself more and just grow like that. Do you know what I mean? Just to be
build out your
a
sound,
better version of myself.
Yeah,
Say that again.
I said build out your sound.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And just become the best version of me as a musician as I can, and people will always gravitate towards what you bring because they want what you bring, innit? So
yeah, just on that point, that's something I learned when I met Ethan Farmer and listened to some of his interviews. He was always on the vibe that, because I remember I used to listen to him, and he was the first guy I heard kind of doing like really like kind of churchy licks, but like on pop, like churchy bass licks, like like on pop. And I was like, wait, you could do that? It was good. And then I remember him talking. It was either at Bass Show or just on a YouTube video. He was saying, yeah, I used to try and like sound like other people, but I got to a point where I was like, I'm just going to do me and you're going to hire me to do me. And that like stuck with me a lot. Because like after I heard that, I was like, okay, so I don't need to play like anyone. And I think this has helped me get a lot of my studio work, because now I've got, for example, Sam or Joy. They're like, Dana, no one plays like you. So I need you to play on this record because I need your sound. And I think, so that's really helped me, just being like, I'm going to be me. No one's going to be able to do me like me. If they don't want someone that sounds like me, cool. I can't do anything about that. But if they do want me, they're going to get, like you said, the best version of me, because no one's gonna be able to do it like me. But yeah, man.
Yeah, there's something to be said about that. Just running your own race and staying in your lane, basically. There's my mate told me a story, not a story, but it's like a parable, where there's these like three guys that are racing, doing 100-meter race. Gun goes off, they all run off. One guy's just running normally. One guy is like running mad, like just bare unorthodox. And this guy next to him is now looking back and trying to signal the ref to say, like, look, my man's doing a madness. This is illegal. Like, rare. Trying to signal the ref. And he falls out of his lane now. Now he's disqualified. And the guy who's doing the funky running now, he goes off, wins the race. Because he stayed in his lane, basically. And the guy who was watching other people, comparing himself, trying to not staying in his lane, basically, is the analogy. Is that you should stay in your lane, focus on you, do what you're doing. You know what I mean? And just work hard, man.
And the weird
Choose
thing,
your goals, set your goals.
the weird thing is, like, all the musicians we love because they sound like themselves.
Yeah.
So it's
All
like,
the iconic guys, like for example, Joey Grant,
yeah,
UK bass player. He's
Nobody
iconic. In
sounds
my mind,
like
he's iconic because he sounds like Joey. You can hear Joey immediately, bro.
No Joey.
And so
the
many guys
slide,
in the UK
just the
try to
slide.
sound like Joey.
What did you say there? No, I
Immediately.
missed that. Go on.
No, I was just saying, like, and so many guys in the UK tried to sound like Joey, but it just made him more like iconic because people were trying to copy him, but they couldn't because it was him. And like, that's why he's just, I've always thought he's like quite an iconic UK bass player, especially like in the gospel scene.
No, just in the scene in general, bro.
Yeah, in the scene in general, yeah.
For sure.
You gotta stop dimming our thing. Because our thing is what everyone else
Yeah, it's
everyone
true.
else wants
It's
in
not-
general.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
I'll take that back in the UK. Urban.
UK
scene.
urban. Urban #gospelly.
Yeah, man.
All right. I think that's a nice spot to wrap it up there, folks. Please like and subscribe on YouTube, iTunes, give us a 5-star review, follow us on Spotify, anywhere else you listen to podcasts, follow our Twitter, follow our Instagram, all of that jazz. You know, I had to spice it up this week, you know, guys. We've got all the accounts, you know, just follow us.
You write it out,
Follow
yeah.
us. Let us know if there's stuff you want us to talk about as well, because we've got a lot of topics we want to talk about, but when we get to about 50, boy, we might be on the ropes. So. Yeah, man, let's get a conversation going. Should there be a hashtag? I don't know.
#mentality.
Hashtag We'll get there. We'll work out our own hashtag next week. But yeah, thanks for listening. Take care.
Peace.